ESPN.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Ben Brust from KBN. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, WBEV-AM, Beaver Dam, Dodge County, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun, featuring a real athlete.
I am an athlete. I am going to show up and dominate.
Wally Lukaczynski, covering everything Titletown and pro, college, and high school sports around South Central Wisconsin. Here are these heroes, really heroes.
Just proving the hero that I am, just in the nick of time to be tortured for all of your enjoyments at home.
Okay, here are these heroes now. Broadcasting live on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
And away we go on this Thursday, an eventful week in professional Wisconsin sports. We're going to dive into that here in a moment. But before we get rolling too far today, we all know what's coming up weather-wise over the next few days. I'm still like a learning Wisconsinite over here, Charlie. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle negative 42 degrees with wind chill. What do you even do for that?
Well, it reminds me of my freshman year in college at UW-Madison. My roommate was from Newport, California, so like LA pretty much. And he came and he was like, so how bad does it get? And I'm like, what do you, we're already in Madison. He has no way of getting out unless he drops out of the school. I'm like, do you not have a winter coat? And he was like, no, I just kind of figured I'd layer up and wear some hoodies. And I was like, dude, it's going to get so cold. And so we finally, I helped him order a jacket, a nice, parka or whatever. And when it got cold, he was like, this is the worst thing ever. Like, why do you guys do this? He moved right back to California.
He wasn't made for this?
No, he was not made for that. I do feel like, and I don't want to sound like a tough guy, like I wear shorts out in this kind of weather, because I'm not. But once it's -5, -10, what's truly the difference to where it's -40? It's already freezing cold. I don't want to be outside.
But if it's -42 real feel, you are in theory, farther away from freezing point, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, than 100 degrees is.
Yeah.
That is a massive jump. I'm going to get a hard time. I'll throw it over to our producer, Ashley Doberzinski, here in a moment, because she has been giving me grief all day because I don't wear coats traditionally.
Why don't you wear a coat?
Because I've got the one, you've seen it, I joke about it all the time. I feel like Christmas Story. My Ohio State jacket is so puffy, I look like Ralphie, his brother in A Christmas Story. I can't put my arms down.
But even that's not a winter jacket.
That one is.
You need to get a winter parka coat.
Yeah, you want me to go out
coat.
there and get the Carhartt.
Yeah, sure, just get a winter coat. Everyone owns a winter coat except for you. Everyone that I know, this is a no-brainer.
I own a coat.
No, you
He's
don't.
not going to wear a coat tomorrow. He's going to have his suspenders, his collared shirt. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it, and then his winter hat.
But you have to stay warm. That's why you wear a winter hat.
But you're not warm. I'm not a big coat person. You guys have seen that. I don't like wearing coats either. But I will be wearing a parka tomorrow because that walk from inside the building, the 5 seconds, is going to be brutal.
We might go for a walk as a group tomorrow. Some group thinking. Let's just go out for a stroll.
That's going to be a hard pass for me.
Might not have a choice. We might just do that. We'll take the show on the road tomorrow. Do it from the ice right on Beaver Dam Lake.
I don't want to go outside at all tomorrow. Even a little bit.
See, I was thinking about this earlier, though, because everybody through the generations as sports fans, there are those massively cold games out there. I think about the Freezer Bowl in Cincinnati in the playoffs was -59 with wind chill. You have the games like Red Right 88, the Ice Bowl. There's so many out there. I'm curious for you. Do you have any positive memories of games that cold? You don't even have to be in person, but once you watched on TV, we're like, this is why we love this sport. Charlie, I'm going to go to you first, but I do want to hear Ashley's take on this too.
I don't really have any that come to mind of me specifically just being freezing where I wish I had snow pants on and people bring cardboard. I do remember my first
walking the Hunter camo or the orange at a Packers game.
Well, speaking of that, I didn't grow up hunting at all, so I didn't really know what the orange was all about, but I remember going to a game when I was a kid to Lambeau, and being so confused why everyone was wearing orange. And I just didn't understand it. And then, like, obviously now I get it. But, yeah, I mean, we talked about it once. I'd love to see the Packers in a neon orange. It would be gross, but I'd love to see it.
See, like, imagine, like, all camo as a jersey, but with that hunter orange G on the helmet. That would be so hot.
It would probably be pretty ugly, but
I think,
sentiment,
hot.
It would be cool.
The gear you would be able to get is cool. You'd be able to see that all over.
People would, like, they would sell out so much of that merch. They already make some of that stuff, but they would sell out so much of it.
So you don't have a game that you remember that whether you were there or watching, you're like, that's awesome. I love how cold this is. Because I'm a freak. I love the weather games in sports.
Anytime it's freezing cold, I would just rather be at home watching.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to these
games. Like, football is typically better on the TV than it is to be there. I know Packer games are, like, kind of a different beast where, like, it's an amazing atmosphere to be at Lambeau. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd rather watch football on a TV. So whenever it's sub-freezing, like, unless I have a ticket, I'm not buying a ticket to go to those games.
I'm getting to the point where I'm avoiding games in general. It could be the summer, the driving, the parking. I'm an old man now where I'm like, I've got the TV here.
Yeah.
I can flip the channel on commercials. The fridge is right over there. Bathroom's right over there. What else can you ask for?
I'm 100% with you.
Ashley Dobes over here. What do you do? What? Wow. Good. Get it out, Wally. What about you? Is there a game that you can remember, whether it be watching, playing, whatever, that cold weather was a massive part of it?
Yep. It was my very first Packer game I ever went to. My brother, it was in December against the Vikings. My brother was supposed to go with my dad. He didn't want to go because it was going to be so cold. My dad already hates cold games. We go to this game. I'm having the time of my life. It's my first Packer game. My dad's like, okay, we're not staying the whole game. I am so cold. We end up, the Packers and Vikings are tied through the fourth quarter. He's like, okay, we can't leave. Like, they're tied. We end up going into double overtime. And the Vikings tied the game, or we tied it with the Vikings. And I remember my dad was just so cold, and I was like, this is awesome.
Wait, it was a double overtime game, so it had to have been a postseason game. Your first game was a postseason game?
No, it was, didn't they just recently change, or not like recently, but I remember didn't there used to be 2 overtimes?
I think it's only in in the playoffs, because you can't have ties there naturally.
I thought it wasn't a postseason game.
We're trying to dive in right now.
My brother would not have that. Let me look it up.
All right, I'm going to let you look it up. Well, yeah, because I see there was a tie back in 2013, if that could have been what you're thinking of. That would have been brutal. Going to a tie as your first NFL experience.
Yeah.
And it's 10 degrees. It
was a Matt Flynn game, mind you.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't even think, because that was another reason why my brother didn't want to go, because he was like, it's cold and Matt Flynn's playing. And I was like,
valid.
And it was a noon game, and so we had to be up because it was a 2-hour drive from our house, and we got up at like 7 a.m. and I found out at like 7 a.m. that I was going, and I was like, Dad, this is going to be so fun, and he's like, Beth,
it's like, don't talk to me anymore. I don't want to be a part of this. That's okay. You let us know if that's for sure the game it was, because I have 26-26. I don't really have positive ones. All I can think about is the tuck rule. That's the one that jumps out at me. It was like one of my first Raiders memories as a fan growing up. And at that point, snow became an enemy when my team was involved. But I love those snow games you always see in Buffalo, in Cleveland, where it's 6-3 finals, gross football. That's what it's all about. That's why we're sports fans.
Yeah, those games are always great to watch on TV. I love watching them on TV, but anytime that you'll see like the tweets before the game where like the fans are out there shoveling snow for the team, I'm good. I don't need to be there.
Well, you know who else has been really hard to watch on television lately is the Milwaukee Bucks, Charlie.
Oh.
And we are seeing more and more about Giannis being vocal in the media, saying that guys aren't working hard enough. They're not doing their jobs. They're trying to come back from 20-point leads in one possession. And we heard Homer on a Homer Hour right after our show yesterday. You and I are chuckling leaving the studio because what's the first thing he says at the top of his lungs? Giannis is gone. He's out. Where are we at right now? Do you believe at this point this still is salvageable? Because you're getting mixed signals from Giannis. Sometimes it's, hey, I want to be back. I'm never going to ask for a trade out of Milwaukee. But let's not pretend we don't hear the noise from Shams and other people out there that desperately are trying to convey that he is unhappy and he just doesn't want to bring that up publicly.
Yeah, I think that might exactly be it. I'm not going to ask for a trade, but I'm going to like kind of slowly like work my way into the heel of this and kind of force my way out of this without necessarily demanding out or demanding a trade. Yeah, I think it's starting to be over. It's from the Dark Knight. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
And we're seeing villain Giannis. Is that it?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see that side of him where he's sick of it, and there's no real way for the Bucks to get better. Like, there's rumors about like Jeremy Grant or what's his name in. John Morant. John Morant's not going to get us to a championship with this team. They're not good enough. It's just not a good team right now. We don't have enough assets, and we can't suddenly get assets. The 2031 pick that we have is like the asset that's being floated around in these trades to get talent here. Like, I think right now it's kind of like what we probably should have done with Christian Yelich and just capitalize on the capital that you can get for him at the time.
Yeah, make it at this point. If you are going to move off Giannis, you can still get a king's ransom if you decide to do so. It's just so weird that we're even having this conversation where 6 months ago, it was just like, get him back in the building. If you get him back in the building, all will be okay. And now he's been in the building. The team is free-falling. I mean, they're not losing in competitive games. No. They've lost 3 straight by 18 or more points to this point. It is a doomsday scenario where at some point, as uncomfortable as it is, you either have to marry yourself to the idea of having Giannis on an uncompetitive team for the foreseeable future, or marry the tank and say, we're ready for some 17-win seasons because we got to get assets back. We got to get the money under control and then actually start to build again in a few years.
Yeah, I think that's what they have to do. I don't see a way out where this suddenly gets better. You're not going to suddenly start competing when you're like the 11th seed in the East. They're running out of time. I think they've run out of time to make a move or make something happen. I don't know how they have a way out of here. It's sad that this is the way that it's ending for Giannis in Milwaukee. Obviously, he's the greatest Buck of all time, but maybe not the greatest, but he's
got to be right there if we're not saying
he's in that conversation. So like, yeah, that's real sad. And like, I remember over the summer we were at Sierra Coons, and I was brought to tears talking about why Giannis is going to stay and what he means to the city and what the city means to him and his family, but ultimately he wants to win another ring, and he's not going to get that in Milwaukee, and he's not going to like age really well in the NBA because once he starts slowing down and like it's just his body's going to start breaking down. He's not going to be able to start like just suddenly becoming like an amazing shooter like Vince Carter or other players were able to do. It's going to be time running out for Giannis. I think he's going to move back to Greece pretty soon. I'd say in the next 5 years or so. I don't know anything. I'm speculating. But he wants to play in Greece with his brothers, and he wants to play on a professional team. He's already said that publicly. And so ultimately, I think that's what he's going to try and do. I think he's going to try and win a ring. There's a report that the Warriors are going to try and make a trade for him. I don't know what the Warriors have right now that they could, because like Jonathan Kuminga, like cool. It's not good. It's not good, and I ultimately think, it's over.
It is over. And I think the longer you try to delay that fact, the worse it's going to be, the less you are going to get for a return. I'm at the point where it's not fun to say, first of all, I wish I got a picture of you. We were talking about trying to find a tearful Charlie Dern, and I had it at my fingertips, and I thought it was a bit, and I didn't even believe it was real. It was very real. Charlie was fired up for it. But at some point, if you just keep dragging your feet, no one wins. Giannis isn't winning. The Bucks aren't winning. If you want him to go out there, he can compete for a championship elsewhere and make sure that you get a king's ransom in return. But we talked about the trades. And that goes into another thing that, at least today, is frontline news in Wisconsin sports. And it being Freddie Fastball was traded for 2 very good prospects, or highly touted, I should say. Awesome. We don't know if they're going to be good because they're probably 2 years away from stepping on a Major League diamond. What was your take on this? Because this just screams confusing to me when you're less than 4 months removed from being in the NLCS.
can we establish first that we weren't going to win a World Series with Freddie Peralta?
Yeah, I think that you and I are very Debbie Downers when it comes to baseball.
And then can we also establish that the Brewers will not win a World Series without Freddie Peralta?
So you're just saying that the Brewers will never win a World Series?
It doesn't really matter right now with the way that the MLB is currently structured.
Give me the lockout.
Where the Dodgers can pay Kyle Tucker $1 million this year and give him a $64 million signing bonus. And that would be, the Brewers are just never going to be able to compete with that. So what's the point? I'm almost on board with this Mark Antanasio plan of hey, it'll be a fun summer. I'm not promising a fun fall. The fun summer, I'm almost on board with that now. I'm almost coming around. Because at least he's giving us that. There's so many other teams that don't even have that. So
for first-hand account, growing up in Pittsburgh, we didn't even have fun summer. Summer was over in May.
Right, exactly. So at least we have that. And oh, cool. The Brewers farm system looks great. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, because they trade everyone away and they just take prospects. And then the prospects, who knows? I'm sure a lot of them will pan out. The future does look bright, but ultimately those guys are going to then become good on the Brewers. And then they're going to ask for contracts. We're going to take them to arbitration over $200,000, and they're going to leave. And we just get on the hamster wheel every year. So what's the point, Wally?
Okay. I think it should be, to be fair to this, we were also having very similar discussions last year after watching Willy Adames leave and not even offering. They gave him the sad standing ovation in game 162 because they're like, well, we weren't going to pay him. We know he's gone anyways. Mm-hmm. And what did the Brewers do last year? They put together an unbelievable season, the best in regular season franchise history for the Brewers. And then it fell apart in the postseason. There's a real shot they go out there and surprise people again, win the NL Central. But I think the point that you and I are making is until there are structural differences in Major League Baseball, it doesn't matter. No. We're just delaying the inevitable. It's just a matter of, are you going to be sad going into October because you missed it? Or are you going to be sad when you play the teams like the New York Mets or the Los Angeles Dodgers who have $500 million put together on a 25-man roster?
Exactly. We know there's not going to be baseball in 27. Okay, great. So then for the Brewers, it's hey, 2030, it looks great. What's the point of any of that?
Close your eyes with me for a minute, Charlie. Imagine it's 2027, it's summer, and instead of us beating our head against a wall about a bad baseball team, we get to enjoy ourselves on the town. We get to just go out and enjoy summer. Walk, have some hot boy walks together. We're going to just get to know each other. There won't be baseball there to get in the way. Everything is done between that and training camp. Think about how amazing that'll be. It'll be like the COVID stretch, except you're not locked in your house. Just give me 2 months where I'm not miserable about watching a baseball team that I know how the season's going to end before we even get there.
Well, at least with the Brewers, they've won 1 million games. They've made the playoffs 7 of 8 years. I think you're thinking of the Pirates when you're doing this little walkthrough that you're doing.
I'm very excited for this. Paskins is going to be gone. I'm going to be crying into my pillow, and I'm like, no baseball? Yeah, that sounds pretty sick.
So yeah, you're thinking of the Pirates when you're doing
that
walkthrough.
That's fair.
I think ultimately the Brewers will be fine. This just doesn't move me at all. Cool, we got a new pitcher. Cool, we got another 5'7" shortstop. Awesome.
Tool player.
Joey Ortiz is still going to be batting when the bases are loaded, and he's going to strike out or ground out a weak ground ball. And, that's just, we're going to see that again and again. And I don't know.
Joey Ortiz, is that going to make its way back?
What's the saying? The more things change, the less they don't?
The more things change, the more things stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. That. Yeah, that's all there really is. And now the owners are talking about a salary cap. The players in a million years, Bryce Harper's going to be yeah, sure, I'll actually take $80 million less on my contract. That sounds good. No, that's not going to happen. There's not going to be baseball in 27. This is all a huge mess, and there's just too many problems right now. We need a new owner so bad.
We've devoted a lot of time this week talking about the Green Bay Packers and their coaches. We do have Hunter Vaughn coming up, so we will talk more about that tomorrow, about who you and I are going to be looking for individually or who we're rooting for to be the Packers DC. But right before we go to break, I do want to ask both of you this question real quick, because going into everything we just talked about, professional Wisconsin sports, who do you have the most faith in looking at this next 5 years? Because to me, the answer is pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say.
I want to build up. I'm building up even though everybody knows we know my answer, right?
Well, mine is Greg Gard in Wisconsin Hoops.
Oh, see, I was going professional only. But you're right. If you're looking at it from a college level, if you're going that far, you're probably right. It would be. You know what you're getting from the Badgers. They're going to be competitive. They're a Sweet 16 team. It feels like that kind of level year in and year out. At least you know what you're getting. It's consistent.
Yeah, that's my answer for sure.
But if I made you choose one of those 3 professional sports teams in Wisconsin, the Packers, the Brewers, or the Bucks, who do you have the most faith in to get this right?
To get it right, I think ultimately the Brewers and Pat Murphy would be the answer. And to clarify, Ashley sent us a message. We will miss baseball in 27. We'll miss it. I'll miss it.
You said that.
I love going to Brewer games. I love listening to it on the radio.
I'll go watch
Sure,
it.
I might not watch it on
baseball.
the TV. Yeah.
We'll be out there. We'll tailgate in the parking lot.
Yeah, all right, fair
We got
enough.
softball, too. We're going to go all over in Beaver Dam. That's the summer I want.
The Brewers winning like 80 or so games every year. Like, there's nothing to scoff at with that. It's really impressive what they're able to do every year. So probably the Brewers, but that's also an answer because the Packers break my heart every year and they make me sad. So the right answer is probably the Packers for the future and actually having being able to get something done, get over the hump. Obviously, then we're talking about Matt LaFleur getting over the hump, and that's something that I'm not sure I believe. So it's kind of a toss-up between, the Brewers and the Packers for me, but it's a mess.
Dobes, what's your answer? Who do you have most faith in over this next 5 years?
I'm going with the Brewers because of the fact that even though you two are going to make fun of this, they do now have the best farm system.
Oh, there it is. I didn't think about that.
You can't ignore that.
You're right.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
It means
All of their top guys are in AAA right now. They're all coming up this summer.
That's awesome. They'll be there for 2 years, and then we can move off of them and get more prospects and have the best farm around.
All right.
What happens with
Hang
those?
the banner, Charlie. Best farm in baseball.
Yeah, I know. Well,
That's
seriously, do we want to do that? I get it. I understand the promise and the hope of having a farm system like that.
There's no hope.
But we have
There's
a
hope.
cheap owner who's not going to pay any of those guys, and they're all going to leave.
We do have a cheap owner, but for now, I think we're going.
He stole sand.
You always bring up the sand.
It's unbelievable. That is the most unbelievable thing I've read about an owner.
You always.
He wants to buy soccer teams. He doesn't want to spend on this team.
I agree that we need
the
a
state
new
gave
owner.
him $500 million for the stadium and all that, and he's not willing to spend on the team.
I'm not saying that
I hate it.
No, I do think that the Packers have a chance, but like Charlie said, they do just break your heart. But so do the Brewers. I mean, I think the Wisconsin sports are just cursed. And one last thing, I was wrong. It is only one overtime, and the game, I got corrected by my father. The game was in 2013.
Okay. So
it
it
was
probably
a
was
tie.
the one. It was a tie. It was
Yeah.
against the Vikings, 2013.
Yep, there was that one.
26-26. Now we know where we were.
I'd like to say
November 24th.
allegedly stole sand.
Oh, my God.
On the record. It's on the record. It's too late. You had 30 seconds to allege it. It wasn't there. Therefore, Charlie Dern.
I
keep
never
that in
mean
mind.
to be a diva.
He's a diva. You heard it.
He is a diva.
Well, I'm not even going to waste my time. The answer is the Packers, because if there's one of these teams that is going to make a championship, it's going to be them. I still have faith in Brian Gutekunst to get it correct. But we have to get the Hunter Vaughn, so we have to throw it the break. We haven't had a break yet, Charlie. I have failed. I have failed. I have done everything wrong. So we're going to break now. When we come back, we will be talking with Hunter Vaughn from ESPN Madison. It's next here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Folks, the clock is ticking. Are you ready to get in the game? While your neighbors are stuck on the bench with a leaky shed, Cleary Building Corp is out here throwing down monster dunks in custom buildings. Whether you need a sports facility, storage for all your gear, or just a winning space to hang out, Cleary's Dream Team designs and builds it like the pros they are. Get in the game with Cleary Building Corp. Call today and let's build a winner.
Cleary built with pride before the Shamrock supplied.
New Pella windows from Hometown Glass and Improvement do more than just boost your home's curb appeal. They boost energy efficiency and save you money. Say goodbye to drafts and hello to lower energy bills. With Pella windows, your home stays comfortable year-round. Hometown Glass and Improvement will help you through the selection process and make installation easy. Your satisfaction guaranteed. Visit Hometown Glass and Improvement showroom in Beaver Dam or online at hometownglass.com.
Orthopedic pain shouldn't disrupt every part of your life. You sit out when others head out. You find yourself saying, "Not today," when you really wish you could say yes. Make a change. Marshfield Clinic Orthopedics and Sports Medicine can guide you through a full scope of orthopedic care. We have surgical and non-surgical treatment options to get you back in action. No referral needed, because life is better with the freedom to move. Marshfield Clinic Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Call us today.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Our New Year's sale is going strong, and you can save up to 50% off of list prices. Check out this amazing Ashley two-piece combination with the Redmond sofa and your choice of a matching rocker recliner chair or the love seat for only $599. Or take your pick with Lazy Boy chairs, anywhere from $555, and you've got your choice of 5 different Lazy Boy branded recliner chairs. Our Windsor accent chairs are only $149, offered in 4 different color options, and this amazing bunk bed for as little as $299. The Mahoney Chaise sectional is on sale for $799, available in 2 different color options, and take advantage of our no-interest financing for up to 36 months. Our New Year's sale is going on right now, and you can save big. Shop local with us and save. Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam and Watertown.
Are you tired of battling a damp, musty basement? Air Care in Beaver Dam has a solution for you. The April Air Dehumidifier will significantly improve the air quality in your basement by removing up to 100 pints of moisture per day. That's 12.5 gallons. The April Air Dehumidifier is quiet, energy efficient, and backed by an impressive 5-year replacement warranty. If you want a crisp, dry lower level for more living space or storage, call Air Care at 920-356-8860. Big enough to serve you and small enough to care.
They're doing their best to work like Wildy today. What's your excuse? Don't let your eyes or ears miss anything happening on the Damn Sports Show. Presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
One-stop shop for all things sports cards. Head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon cards, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, look for the orange logo, and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards, your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. We're now going to welcome onto the show the hero himself, that is Hunter Vaughn. And Hunter Vaughn over at ESPN Madison. You can hear him on Mr. Irrelevant live with Alex Strofe Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:30 p.m. on ESPN Madison and the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. And Hunter is also a huge part of the Pizza Hut Power Rankings for Wisconsin high school hoops. Hunter, before we get going too much into high school hoops and anything on that matter, we just had a spirited debate here about who of the professional Wisconsin teams people should have the most faith in 5 years from now, given the Giannis news, given the Freddie Peralta news, and everything going on with the Packers. Hunter, I ask you, who do you have faith in?
Oh, man. My problem is I don't know. Like, if I go through each of these, like the Giannis thing, there's just the question of how long is he there? What do you get for a package? The Packers, I don't know what Matt LaFleur's future could be at that point. And then the Brewers, I mean, I think there's things when it comes to the lockout with baseball, potential hard salary cap, more punitive luxury tax that could drastically change the way baseball operates. I'm going to go the Bucks because I think that Giannis gets traded. They're going to get a ton of draft picks for him. And then you have something to build off of there. So I'm going to go the Bucks.
When do you think that trade happens? Is that this year before the deadline? Is that in the summer? What are we thinking?
I mean, with the way that he's talking, I think he's trying to subtly make it happen, but still keep himself from being the villain, because he saw what happened to LeBron when he left Cleveland, and he doesn't want that to happen to him. The problem is there will be a section of this state and the Bucs fan base that will treat him that way. They shouldn't, but they will, because now he has been with this franchise long enough that you've got enough, 15 to 20 or mid-20-somethings who don't truly understand what god-awful NBA basketball was in the city of Milwaukee. So they're not going to understand what he really did for this franchise.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fair. That was actually an answer that was different than both of ours. I think it was just more or less of we feel like the Bucs are so far away from being able to compete again that even though they are making the right moves, as you say, if you do move off him, we were looking more at the Brewers with the trade to Freddie Peralta, and I'm interested in your take on that. I know you're a diehard Brewers fan. When you saw that news last night break, were you surprised? Was that something, given their history, it was just kind of another day at the office for you?
I mean, it really was just another day at the office. I was just like, oh, okay. I thought maybe he'd be a trade deadline piece, and then you get something in return that helps you continue to, play well or put you over the hump potentially to chase down the Cubs or whatever that situation could be, and then you at least get something out of his year. The problem is a lot of teams aren't interested in partial year rentals. If they're going to rent somebody, they want them for the full year, which I saw a clip from WFAN in New York, and that's the way that they're viewing Freddie Peralta, is that this is a 1-year, $8 million rental. He helps bolster their starting rotation, and then he's going to go sign with either the Yankees or the Dodgers, because that's the way baseball is right now. Maybe Toronto is a potential dark horse out of those. But for the Brewers, then, you at least get more prospects. You have plenty of prospects to then trade to go and get somebody else for your team, and that's what I'm hoping that they do.
Come on, Hunter. Come on. This is the Milwaukee Brewers we're talking about.
They're not going to do that.
I know, but they did send prospects to get a guy like Jonathan Scope in 2018. They have done it at some time.
Yeah.
That trade didn't work out, but there are moments where they've shown that they're willing to do it, and typically it has been when they are a top 3 farm system in the league. The estimates right now with the guys they got back puts them at number 2. So they're in that spot where they've done it before. So there is that chance that they do it. I doubt that they will. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some sort of a play to get a bunch of young, cheap guys, and they're thinking that there could be something that happens with the lockout that they can try and finagle their way in the future to being in a better spot than some of these teams that are spending a ridiculous amount of money. When in all reality, Mark Antanasio is just incredibly cheap. He's not going to spend the money on his team, and this is just what it is. But I'd rather have this and be a consistently competitive franchise than bottom out for a decade just to get a 2-year window where they go to the NLCS and then we get nothing. I think they got lucky this year getting to the NLCS. They caught lightning in a bottle with it, but they're a card divisional round team. That's just what this franchise is going to be, and it is better than being the White Sox.
He's got to watch his mouth.
you probably didn't hear that, Hunter. We had
the 5 White Sox fans that there are in the world, and one of them works here at ESPN Madison. Those are the guys I gotta watch my mouth.
No. Sorry.
The White Sox.
You wouldn't have heard it on your end when you were talking. We had a couple bleeps coming out as if you were swearing and getting really revved up. Charlie and I kept up each other. We got a live beeper on him. We weren't sure. We got nervous about you there, Hunter.
No. I would never do that. I'm not like Rob Domofsky.
Yeah, that's true. We got to see that a few weeks ago. He dropped a healthy one, and he thought about it, too. He said BS before he dropped the real one at it.
Yeah, the self-censor and then just being like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to do it. That's bold.
He was revved up in that, too. But I know you are as well. But before we get going too crazy here, because we do only have about 5-6 minutes left, I want to ask you about your Pizza Hut power rankings over there in high school sports. Hunter, you were very ahead of it a few weeks ago when we talked about a Beaver Dam and Wanakee matchup on the girls' side. I'm interested from you, talking about these 4 conferences that we're looking at, Who has really blown you away this year? Who stood out that people around here may or may not be aware of?
You know, I really have been impressed on the boys' side with how deep the Big Eight is this year. Of course, you know, we released our power rankings. We have Middleton number 1 after they get an overtime win the previous week over Verona, and then they just get their doors blown off by Bell Phillips Memorial.
Yeah.
I think Memorial has a real chance to go to state for the Madison area, along with, this is where the Beaver Dam boys side, they get really lucky that they're still in Division II. If they were up in that Division I sectional, I don't know if they get through. I'm expecting an awesome battle here for Beaver Dam. They're probably going to get a sectional semifinal matchup with McFarland, so that's a game to watch out for between these two teams, because they are, you know, with them not seeing each other here in the regular season at all, that matchup potentially is like a sectional semifinal is going to be awesome, and probably be the winner of that one, be the team that goes to state.
Wow. So at this point, when you're looking across the board, whether it be the boys or girls side, of these schools that you guys focus on with the Pizza Hut power rankings, who at this point, if you had to wager, who's the one that's most likely to be playing in a state championship game, boys or girls?
Ooh, I want to go with the girls, just given the history, because the issue when you start looking at some of the stuff for just Division II as a whole for the boys, and you put championship game on there, they could run into a Slinger team that's incredibly good. I think Port Washington's a great team. La Crosse Central, like, there's just enough really good teams there that they could run into in that semifinal. They could give them a ton of headaches and make things really difficult for them, where the girls just have that history. So I'd have to lean the girls. That's not saying that the boys team is bad.
No, for sure.
You just look at the teams that they've got to play, and it's just, it just gets tough.
Well, it's a testament to how deep both of those programs are this year over here. We've been very fortunate to be able to watch quite a few games ourselves on that. Before we let you go today, Hunter, we do have to get to the third professional Wisconsin team here. A lot of change, and I guess not so much change in some respects to the coaching staff. When you're looking at the defensive coordinator hire for the Green Bay Packers, do you have a favorite? Do you have someone that you think is going to emerge, whatever you want to take on this defensive coordinator situation?
His team took our guy.
That's right.
I think as much as Packer fans want Jim Leonard, I have a feeling that after the Broncos get eliminated on Sunday, he is going to be on a flight to New York to go and be the defensive coordinator for his former head coach when he played for the Ravens, John Harbaugh, or he's going to follow Vance Joseph wherever he goes. Like, I just don't think that the Packers are going to be able to bring him in. I think those are going to be his two routes. I have a feeling it might be Al Harris, which I don't think is a bad thing at all, because when he was the defensive backs coach for the Cowboys, that was when Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland had their best season as corners. So he is a really good coach, and I think that might end up being the guy. I hope for Packer fans that they don't drag their feet on this. They take forever. Everybody else gets snatched up, and then you're left with the dorkiest dork in Gannon as your defensive coordinator, because I'm not sure he's going to be the best option.
Pew, pew.
Explosives.
Gosh. Well, Hunter, as always, we appreciate you taking a smorgasbord of topics with us today. There's no one we'd rather have talking with on this Thursday. But, Hunter, have a great weekend, and we're excited to catch up with you again next week.
Looking forward to it, guys.
You're the man, Hunter. Well, we're going to throw it to break now. When we come back out on the other side, we are going to preview what's coming up because, yeah, it's cold outside, but we got Beaver Dam High School sports action coming up. Oof. Yeah, I know. I was sitting there like, I know Ashley and I are going to actually be on the site for wrestling. That's a short walk, and I don't wear the coat. So now it's like I have to pretend like I'm fine, even though we all know I'm going to be just mentally crumbling before people. We'll dive into all that. Coming up next here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Attention sports fans. Whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where sports fans come to play. Welcome back to the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Wally Lukashenski, Charlie Dern, and Ashley Dobrzinski with you today. And we got to dive into what's coming up later tonight here on Daily Dodge TV. There'll be 2 games that won't be, that we'll make sure we recap tomorrow. Both of the hockey teams are going to be in action tonight. The boys, their game tomorrow got moved up to tonight. The girls will also be playing on the road. We'll make sure we come back and highlight what happened in those matchups. I think Wade Bates is on the scene tonight, so we get that inside journalism, boots on the ground out there.
He'll probably be live tweeting.
He probably will. He's always great about that, and then thank God for that, because I don't know what I'm doing otherwise. So we have Wade Bates on that one, and then on Daily Dodge TV this evening, both at 7 o'clock. First of all, here on home soil at the Beaver Dam Fieldhouse, Milton is coming to town to take on the Beaver Dam wrestling team. That is going to be myself on the call. I don't think Ryan Gerber's going to make it. His voice is apparently not doing great these days, so we might have a stand-in. I'll figure out who that's going to be a little bit closer, but make sure you tune on that at 7 o'clock. Also at 7 o'clock tonight, you get to hear that team that Hunter Vaughn is so high on, the girls basketball team for Beaver Dam, who's also traveling. They're going to Milton. That one will be on Daily Dodge TV, and Mike Tronson and Aiden Voigt are en route right now to get there for that one. Don't envy the going out in the cold for them, but that should be a heat-filled matchup there against a very good, or at least talented Milton Redhawks team.
Are you proud of that one?
It was terrible. Sometimes like it's so bad that you have to almost like lean into it and be like, you know what, Wally? Not that bad.
Yeah, well,
not bad.
It's getting so cold that I kept hearing about the having your gas tank filled up halfway.
I never heard that before until I got to Wisconsin, by the way, and I thought it was like the blinker fluid. Yeah. Where like, hey, make sure you check that. I'm like, oh, they're getting me. No, apparently that's a thing.
I thought it was about your car just like shutting down or something, and it's more about like there's more room for the air to then freeze and then, you know, more problems in the car. I'm very much not a car.
What do you mean? Person. You sound like a car guy right now. You're going to be over at Riverside Auto and Tire here. You're going to switch out careers before long.
Yeah, transmission. What else do we got?
Can't forget
carburetor.
Brakes. Carburetor's huge.
Important.
Fuselage.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Is it? Yeah, that's probably.
It sounds like it. Tell me that it's not. I want that. Definitively prove there's not a fuselage in a car.
When I think of fuselage, I think of like the Apollo missions.
I don't think of anything. I just hear a word that I don't know the use of, and I just throw it out and really hope that it lands.
Hey, well, make sure to fill up your car at least halfway.
It's about halfway right now. I'm going to have to make sure that I check that out on the way home. Mm-hmm. But I will say in that Milton Redhawks game, something to keep an eye on is that Milton does have sophomore, very talented sophomore. Maddie Vind is back in the lineup this last few weeks. They've won 4 straight games, all by 20 points or more. So even though Beaver Dam played this team early in the year, they won that game 63-35. It really didn't show what this Milton team can do. It's going to be important to get out there, play that aggressive style of defense that we know and really have grown attached to with this team. And if you do that, you're going to play with the lead, and more importantly, you'll be playing with the lead late in this one. With that being said, we're throwing it to our final break, because when we come back, it's Thursday, and it's time for one of my favorite segments, if not my favorite segment of the week. It's time for This or That. That's next on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. An extreme cold warning begins at midnight tonight and continues until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Chance for snow tonight, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Lows level off around 18 below, winds out of the northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Bright sunshine tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 7 below. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Currently 12.
Keep up to date with all the latest going on in high school athletics across the region by heading to the sports tab at dailydodge.com. Local scores, interviews, and more.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus. Brewers.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
On top of the world or bouncing back, there's no better time than right now to take care of yourself. Marshfield Clinic Primary Care helps you stay on track with recommended screenings and annual visits, or simply connect on your overall well-being. And if you find yourself in need of care quickly, we often offer same-day appointment options. Marshfield Clinic. Enjoy life with confidence. Explore appointment options today at marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
If you're an employer looking to tap into the next strong generation of local prospective employees, then you can't miss this. 95.3 WBEV, ESPN Beaver Dam, and DailyDodge.com will be hosting the South Central Wisconsin Career Expo on Wednesday, March 4th. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Beaver Dam High School Fieldhouse, businesses will have the opportunity to meet with hundreds of eager juniors and seniors from area high schools. Employers can find more info and purchase a booth on the Career Expo page at DailyDodge.com.
There's power in your smile. Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster from Columbus Family Dental. Your smile can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. At Columbus Family Dental, we are committed to protecting your grin from ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental is now accepting every kind of smile. Call us today for a free, no-pressure consultation at 623-5559.
Your life's always on the go, so your thermostat should be too. With programmable and Wi-Fi thermostats from JB Mechanical, you control comfort from anywhere. Running late? Heading up north? Just grab your phone and adjust the temp before you even walk in the door. JB Mechanical installs smart thermostats that fit your lifestyle, at home, at work, and everywhere in between.
This is so convenient.
Let your thermostat work for you. JB Mechanical, smart comfort made simple. Give them a call or check out jbmechllc.com.
You let him drive violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Sometimes they have no idea what they're saying out loud. Isn't that what local sports talk is all about? Hear more shenanigans now on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and the Dam Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
It is almost time for this or that on the Damn Sports Show, but first we want to remind you, if you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon cards, Real Sports Cards has you covered with live break streaming right on the app. You can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, look for the orange logo, and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards, your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. By the way, what a pro am I? Do you see that? Do you see that mid-read? Look over and be like, hey, I hear some audio coming in the computer. And I kept going.
Not once, but twice you had to remind me to
People are talking about what I just did there. That was impressive. Mm-hmm. Not enough people are going to give me credit, but that's fine. It's time for this or that, and without further ado, we got to throw it to our wonderful producer in Ashley Dobrzinski. Ashley, what is going on with this or that this week?
Well, we're not completely switching it, but we are going to change it up a bit because we can only do so many this or that sports related. So we're kind of going to do something like what's more likely to happen,
okay,
or what do you think is what do you think is most likely going to happen?
Yeah, it's still this or that,
it's
just a different look.
That, but it's a different look.
Okay, I'm ready for it. What's our first one?
But there are still some this or that's.
Good, there better be.
So we'll start off.
Gets me revved up.
We'll start off with a little easy ones, and then we'll go into the sports aspects of them.
All right.
Cheese curds or brats?
Oh, that's not easy at all.
Oh.
It's not easy at all.
Sorry.
Man, I feel like it's a lose-lose, but I'm going with a brat.
Yeah, I'm going with a brat. I just rather would. I grew up having brats all the time.
How do you dress yours?
Well, more so, definitely grew up with my dad boiling them or soaking them in Miller Lite.
Of course.
So that was
a little disrespectful to the 96-calorie beer out there, but all right, I'll let it play.
Hey. No. Yeah, GTLF. So those would always be great. And then we would always do stadium sauce. So at County Stadium,
yes,
they used to have their stadium sauce, which was special to them, but then they ended up selling it after County Stadium. I guess I don't know the full
That's how
story
stadium mustard became a thing. That was in Cleveland, and they eventually sold the rights same kind of way.
Well, I know you guys have your stadium mustard at home. That's been there for like.
My dad had it for 17 years. 17 years, the same gallon jug of it.
Oh.
At the end, it was a different color, and he was spooning it out. It was separating. There was water in there. I'm like, how can you physically put that on there? It was a different color than the one I had.
Still going brats.
Yeah,
I'm still
me
going
too.
brats.
Even with that old stadium mustard. Dobes, is that the right answer?
Nope. I would go
She doesn't like
cheese
pork.
Yeah, well, she doesn't
Oh
like
my
food.
gosh, we've literally had brat fries, and I eat a brat.
Well, we don't have a lot of options at brat fries.
All right, what's our next one?
Touche. Next year, do you think Jordan Love will have a better year than this year? Or do you think Matthew Golden will finally step into his role and have a breakout year?
I feel like if one happens, they both are going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. They are a little correlated.
Because if Matthew Golden takes that next step, I think that you would probably see Jordan Love continue to build on that positive momentum this year. So, am I allowed to pick both?
No.
I do think it's more like, because Jordan Love had a great year. So I think it's more likely that Matthew Golden ends up taking on a bigger role next year.
Then Jordan Love taking an even further step forward.
And you're kind of then assuming that Romeo Doubs isn't back, and you're probably assuming that he takes like the wide receiver 3 role in the offense.
You talked me into it. I'm also going, if you had to pick one, Matthew Golden's going to take a huge step next year, opposed to Jordan Love going to an even upper echelon than he is right now.
Because I think that next step for Jordan Love would be like totally like MVP conversation
Top
for
5
the entire
quarterback
season, which like that would be phenomenal. And
you would take that one over the Matthew Golden if you had to choose between one and the other.
And it's certainly possible that does happen. I just think it's more likely that Matthew Golden takes that next step.
I'm completely with you. Is that a 3? We're all on the same side there? Going 3?
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
cool. All right,
Okay.
we got at least time for one more.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize the time. Okay, this one's quick. Day or night game at AmFam?
Day or night game at AmFam?
Do I get the
night game?
Is it a Saturday? Can we treat it like a Saturday?
night game.
Roof open. Night
open.
game.
Roof open night game. I would agree with that if it's a Friday or Saturday night. If we're going in like the middle of the week, I kind of like when you get those sneaky day games on like a Wednesday.
Yeah,
but
but
a week and a half.
Yeah, just like if you're there in July and you're on the wrong side of the stadium to where the sun is.
Oh, that's why you got to go on a
You're
Brewers bus trip with
just-
us.
You're just cooking in the sun.
You go on a Brewer bus trip with us. We have 3 options this year. You're not gonna have to worry about that. You're sitting under the canopy. We're in that shaded area. Assuming we got same tickets this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking
yeah,
at you.
that's-
You're the smart guy in charge of that plan.
Yeah. Made sure we're in the same spot so that people won't be roasting. Yeah. That's definitely going to be the case. But yeah, I'd say night game for sure.
All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I would say night game.
Wait, so that's a clean sweep minus you not liking food. So anyways, all right, cool. We keep going then.
Split? No, I like this one better. Would you rather eat in bed or would you eat over the sink?
If people eat in bed, I think you're a sicko.
Yeah, over the
I
sink.
think you're a lunatic.
I don't even like what I'm wearing now. Like I'll change before I get into bed.
I've eaten over a sink before.
Yeah.
Wait, Wally.
What's weird about eating over a sink? Hold up.
Do you think that you can wear outside clothes? Do you wear outside clothes in your bed?
Like what you're saying, am I sitting in jeans and a hoodie in my bed?
What you're wearing right now, will you go home?
Will you go
and
lay in bed in that outfit?
No, absolutely not.
Correct.
Oh my
I'm not a wild animal.
Correct. I maybe over the comforter, but I'm not getting under my
Not
covers.
late, and even there, yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not playing with that.
No.
I can't believe that this wasn't even a discussion about the food in bed.
I think she's outing herself about 2 things right now.
Yeah, and that's a really
Eating in bed.
This is also a comforter denier until this last year.
No, it was top
sheet denier.
I think she's outing herself as a food in bed and a wears her like outside clothes under her
Okay,
covers.
I don't wear the clothes underneath the covers. I will eat in bed. I was eating popcorn at lunch.
Popcorn's, at least if you're gonna eat in bed, that's like one of the only. You're not sitting there eating spaghetti in bed.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's kind of insane.
If you eat in bed, it's already insane.
Okay,
You're gonna have crumbs all over. It's
Wally,
disgusting.
do you bring coffee into your bed?
No, the bed is a sacred place. I'm not putting any food in
I
it.
don't want to spill coffee on my sheets or anything.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Well, that's simple enough.
Whatever.
Well, Dubs is a loser. That's our last word for it today. We'll be back with another episode of the Dam Sports Show, same time, same place tomorrow on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What is this